I've been using Android Pie on and off ever since the first developer preview, and although this is going to be a weird and slightly negative video, on the whole I actually like this new version a lot. The new design direction is great, performance for me at least has been fantastic, and I'm mostly on board with the new gesture navigation too. But there is certainly some room for improvement. Pie is not perfect. So with that in mind, here are the top 4 things I change in Android 9 Pie. It's 2018 and phones are big and tall. Reaching up to the top of the screen is awkward on many devices if you're using just one hand, and that's why companies like Samsung, HTC, Huawei and many others have their own one-handed software modes. These are gestures that let you shrink down the screen for easier use, and mostly they work great. Yet Google Android itself doesn't have a one-handed mode, and that's super annoying for me whenever I switch back to a Pixel phone. One-handed modes have become more fashionable over the past 12 months for good reason, and it's surprising that Google has skipped such an obvious feature in this year's release of Android. Google doesn't often get rid of features, but in Android Pie it did away with one really useful little shortcut that I found myself using again and again. These little shortcut menus in Oreo that let you drill down for settings like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, they're now gone. And that sounds like a really small nitpicky thing, but I use this all the time when juggling between Bluetooth devices. And although it's only a few extra taps to get into the Bluetooth menu and do whatever you were going to do, removing the ability to do this from any app just by bringing down the quick settings dropdown seems a little bit regressive. On the whole, I really enjoy Android Pie's new gesture navigation system. It's really easy to quickly hop between apps, as well as swipe directly into your app drawer at any time. But there's one thing that's demonstrably worse on this new version, and that's split screen mode. On Oreo you could simply hold down the recents key and cut the current app in half. Now it's hidden behind another layer of menus that pops up at the top of the screen where it's hard to see. Most people are just never going to see that. Which means this major tentpole of 2016's Nougat release might as well not be there anymore. Let's just hope that when other manufacturers get their hands on Android Pie, they implement split screen in a different and better way. Android 9 Pie introduces a dark mode for the system UI, a long requested feature, and since the Pixel phones all have OLED screens, there are considerable power savings to be had too for those who choose a darker UI. That's great, except for the fact that dark mode UI makes most things it touches ugly, like the notification shade, with a combination of dark greys and bright blues that just doesn't work very well. And the fact it doesn't affect system apps or even the main settings app leads to a bizarre disconnect between things like the app drawer in overview mode and the blue and white UI that you see the rest of the time. Other things like the Google feed have this bizarre white on black UI that's also far from appealing. The light theme works well and lines right up with Google's Material Theme initiative. The dark theme, much more work is needed before this lives up to its potential. So those are the first 4 things I'd change in Android 9 Pie. If you're getting stuck into the new version of Android, be sure to share what you changed down in the comments and subscribe so you don't miss our future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.